Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Fab's in the house. And today I've got the Matthew Christensen Knife Works and Alliance Design Bangarang knife here with me for a review. And before analyzing the look, the sound and the feel, let me just say a big thank you to my buddy Mike for sending this guy over. And second of all, please don't forget to like the video and to subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this kind of content. So let's check this guy out, because this is an interesting nice knife. It's pretty cool, because look at this. It's not that big. I mean, it's 7.6 inch long overall, with a 3.125 inch long blade and roughly like 4.25 inch long handle. Let's see how this guy compares up to, for example, Ontario Rat number 2. Look at that. Kind of like, you know, also, this is Ontario Rat number 1, and you can see this guy is kind of like in between. I mean, more closer to the Rat number 2 in size, but for example, this is the Spyderco Paramilitary 2, and guess what? You're gonna see the Spyderco Paramilitary 3 coming up like here, and that's Para 3, and it's kind of like comparable, a little bit smaller than the Bangarang. And then if you check, for example, this is the Christensen Knives Small Sebenza 21 with a pretty cool looking spirograph Damascus blade, and this is the bigger brother, Christensen Knives, of course, large Sebenza 21, just carbon fiber scales, inlays, sorry. And you can see, again, this guy is right in between, but much closer to the smaller offering from Christensen Knives. What else can I show you? This guy over here, this is the Diskin IDF. And it's kind of like comparable in size, but this guy is like taller and chubbier and thicker. And of course, I mean, the Diskin is an integral one. Another couple options I can show you of quite popular knives. This is the Shirogorov Neon Zero. And of course, you've got the bigger brother of that guy, which is the Shirogorov F95R Slim. In this case, just a slimmer version, but basically this is an F95. And again, this guy is smaller than both of them. The Neon is lately one of my favorite EDC, because it's so nice and tiny and slim, and disappears in the pocket. And what can I show you guys? Look at this. This is kind of like a natural comparison. It's bigger. This is like the 3.5 inch XM18 from Hinder Knives, but there is some cool similarities. And of course, we've got this pretty cool Shirogorov Snow Edition. This is a very nice one, F3 and S. Right over here we have something also from Russia. This is Custom Knife Factory, Philippe Georget Design 520, and you can see how this guy compares with these two big boys. I mean, not that big, but this is not a bigger knife, not a big knife. For example, this is a big boy. This is the Custom Knife Factory Snafu 2.0, and look at that. It's you can see this is a big boy. This is a nice chunk of titanium in your pocket. This is not gonna be as bad, let's say, as big. Another really cool one I can show you here is the Trevor Berger Custom Knives LEXK Plus, and just last one, a small one. Look at this. Beautiful piece. Rogers Design OEM in a beautiful purple. Fantastic titanium liner lock right over here. So basically, what do we have here? This is Alliance Design and Matthew Christensen collaboration Bangarang. It's a pretty cool knife. It's gonna be around $350, $400 in that range, so it's not a cheap one. But I have to say, it is very nicely done. The micarta scales are beautifully contoured. Look at that. There's a nice nice rounding going on over here, and the tactile feeling is just guys, it is so good. It's really cool. There's like kind of like an earthy tone going on, and the texture of this guy is just cool to the touch. That's it. It's pretty simple. Then you've got a couple of titanium liners, which are pretty thick. And of course you've got a nicely milled titanium backspacer, pretty solid, and it's flush. It's beautifully done. I cannot say anything, like you cannot feel anything. It's nicely lined up. There's no bevels. You can kind of actually feel the gaps here, but it's not like protruding or not flush in any way. So it's nicely done, I have to say. Of course, after that, we can see that there's basically no lanyard hole. So you're not going to be able to use any kind of lanyard hole right over here. You've got some nice jimping. It's pretty aggressive. I mean, it's not like, for example, as aggressive as this one. This is like pretty hardcore, but it's functional and it works. It's aggressive in the design, the shape, I would say, because it has a nice geared pattern kind of thing going on, but it's nicely done. I like it. And that's the only jimping you're gonna see. Backspacer is pretty smooth, pretty flush with the scales and the liners, and you're gonna see that inside there's no skeletonization going on. It's pretty basic. I mean, these liners are kind of thick, but it's not that heavy. I mean, it's dense, I have to say. You don't have any lock face insert over here because the lock face has been carbidized because these are titanium liners. So you might expect some lock stick, but no, there's nothing. It is pretty cool, so nicely done. Also, the lock release relief, it's a little bit small on this side, you see, but it's easily accessible with the tip of your thumb, like that. So you can just press this indentation going on right over here. You have a little bit of cutout, and you're done. Also, you've got some pretty straightforward hardware, nicely flush. You've got a nice copper pivot collar on both sides. Really cool. What I really like, guys, is the pocket clip. It's nicely designed, nicely contoured, beautifully sculpted. The hardware is not hidden. They could have done something like that, but look at this. This is a pretty cool looking clip, and the geometry is very good. There's some nice retention, and it's gonna be in and out pretty easily in your pocket. Of course, tip-up carry only. It's not reversible. It's just gonna stay on this side of the knife, and it is going to be a breeze to just use it. So really cool. Of course, you've got a very nice reverse tanto blade. I like this shape overall. It's interesting because you've got this sweeping line and this swooping big belly, only belly basically in the blade, nice reverse tanto, jimping, couple of thumb stud, which are, look at this, they are pretty big. I mean, nice, sticking out enough so that your thumb is going to be able to access, like pretty easy to deploy the blade like that. And then you've got a very thick stock, I have to say, probably too thick for this kind of knife, but this is a beast. It's kind of like an overbuilt smaller size knife, thick stock. You have a nice swedge going on right up to here, and beautiful belly up to the sharpening choil, which shows you, look at this, that it's pretty thin behind the edge. I mean, it's flat grind, so it's not hollow, and I would have preferred a little bit of maybe hollow grind in this kind of stock thickness for in this case, but it's fine. I mean, it's gonna be all right. It's flat grind up to here. You got some a little bit of flats going on, and if you notice, like right over here, it's not sharpened up to the end, so you're gonna have a little bit of thicker edge right up here. You can see the heel of this blade. It's not like ideal, but I mean, it's something that you have to live with. Then you have a nice black washed blade. It's stone washed and acid washed. It's looking pretty mean. I really have to say that I like that. And then you've got, of course, Christensen Knifeworks logo, Alliance Design logo on this side. Not really obtrusive, I have to say. They are kind of minimal, so I can live with that as well. If you check like the sound this guy makes, it's nice and clacky and deep. When you deploy it, like That is deep. It's the opposite of this closing sound. Really, really deep. It's a deep cluck and a nice clink when it closes. It's a very pleasant sound, I have to say. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. For what concerns the feel, guys, it's interesting because this guy is gonna weigh in at 4.6 ounces, so not super light, but not like too crazy. If you squeeze it in the handle, it's gonna reveal a little. It's a double. It's a mixed feeling that I'm getting. Because the texture is really cool. It's really smooth. I like this feeling. It kind of wants you to scratch this. I don't know how to explain. It's something really cool to handle. It's giving you a nice feel, nice tactile feeling when you hold the hand. But because of the design, like especially on this area over here, it's not the most comfortable of them all, because like here you're gonna have a little bit of not hot spot, but it's not like, at least in my hand, it's not like the most comfortable handle. And secondly, you're gonna have, I'm getting some kind of hot spots over here, so it's not sharp because this is micarta. So, but here there is a little bit of uncomfortableness, if I can say that, coming from this area over here. But there's no sharp edges. I mean, it's rounded off, it's nicely chamfered, so it's not that. It's just probably the conformation, the shape, the overall shape of the handle, which is not enough contoured for my hand. So that's what I'm thinking. You've got a very limited amount of jimping that's going on just right over here. Reverse grip, probably I wouldn't do it because I kind of feel that I'm missing a chunk of handle. So it's not gonna happen for me. It's a little bit too small. Not really an option to choke it up because that's not a finger choil, just a nice sharpening choil. But overall, guys, this is like solidly built. It feels like a beast. Look at this. I mean, look at the liners, look at the back spacer. This is like a solid one. There's nothing moving. It's really, really sturdily built. 100%. I like the texture. I like the fit and finish. There's no gaps in the construction. No blade play. It's nicely done, guys. I'm telling you, nice clip ramp, nice tension, nice clip design, nice clip realization. It's a cool one. Also, its deployment speed. It's very, very interesting because I love like just deploying like that with my thumb and my index finger. Just like that, it just pops out like, guys, crazy, super, super easy. Zero finger sore when you play and fidget with this guy, super smooth. This guy is running on ceramic ball bearings. Decent strength, I would say, on the medium light side, and you, of course, get some nice kickback when, even if the blade is short, but because it's kind of like thick, so you're gonna feel that when the blade is gonna hit the stop pin, which is right over here. You're gonna feel that kickback in your hand. And also, like, what I really like is that, like, doing this, guys, it's very cool. You have kind of like a magnetic feel that is it's really enjoyable, like really pleasant to do. There's the backspacer is just reaching up to this level over here, so it's going to protect the tip of the blade from being touched, so there's no way you can snag that in any ways. I mean, this is like not an issue. I would have preferred this maybe a little bit wider, like for example, like we have it here. This is one of my favorite lock disengagement, like lock cutout to disengage the lock bar ever, because this area over here is nicely done, and this is, I mean, it's just perfect to me. So this is a little bit on the small side. You see the cutout is a little bit small, but still works pretty easily. There is a detent ball ramp, which works nicely and eliminates the hard step. So it's very, very cool and very, very gentle. Like, and of course, you've got this amazing action, guys. It's really, really pleasant. As soon as you disengage the lock bar, boom, there's a free fall. And as soon as you just give a little wiggle, the blade just glides shut. So there is no guillotine effect. You see, you hold the knife like in the vertical position, it's gonna stay there. You just give it a little wiggle, boom, and glides down. And this is my favorite action, I have to say. This one. So I like the guillotine effect, of course, but if it stays there and just like the minimal amount of wiggle, you're gonna get this, and it's super, super pleasant. I'm telling you. So I mean, overall, it's a very interesting knife. The look, I like it. Even if I'm not a fan of micarta, I like the tactile feeling coming out of it. I like the design of the blade. Overall, the sound is very interesting. I'm not super fan of the thickness of the handle, and there's a couple of areas probably they need to be rounded off a little bit more, but action is superb. It's a beautiful action, I'm telling you. And overall, it's a very cool knife. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching. Stay tuned.